Hi, and welcome to this instructional video on music design thinking, a new framework for music creation. Music design thinking is a framework that's modified from design thinking, which is a user-centric design approach. Music design thinking as a framework has been developed especially for the purpose of this study, and it uses modified tools from design thinking, as well as a new tool called the song map, which we'll explore later. You should be familiar with the steps of design thinking based on the briefing sheets you were provided with. So this video is mainly focusing on the modified framework of music design thinking. If you have any questions about the approach or the tools used, then my details are at the end of the video. Please feel free to contact me. So let's get going. Step 1 is mind mapping. This is also known as maybe brainstorming, you might have heard. The idea here is to create a free canvas where the creator, that could be the songwriter, the producer, the sound designer, can map their ideas, their emotions, their feelings. These could be also world events or personal life events, trends, anything really. This is a very free approach where you can just let it all be on the paper and get it out of your mind. Don't worry about the POV in the center for now. That's filled in later. And if we take a look at a completed mind map, just to give an idea. The second step of mind mapping in this approach is that we highlight the elements, maybe 10 or so, that are most important to us. You can see this in green here. The second step is empathy, and for that we use an empathy map, which is a tool used in design thinking, and this is thinking about our proposed listener for our music. In other design approaches, that would be the user or the customer or the consumer, and in our case, it's the consumer of music, so the listener. To complete this, we first ask questions about who we're empathizing with, who is the person that we want to understand, what's their situation and what do they do in that situation. We think about what they need to do. These can also be known as customer or listener jobs. What do they need to get done? What decisions they need to make? And how will we know when they've achieved those things they want to do? We also look at the senses. So what do they see? On here it says marketplace. That could be the music space that they have. So maybe radio, Spotify, TV, etc. Also, what do they see others saying and doing? These could be friends or family. Look about what they say. What have we heard them say in the past? And what can we imagine them saying? Obviously, this is all very hypothetical, but it should be based on either educated guesses or personal experiences from either your prospective listeners in the future or your current fan base. Number 5 is what do they do? This is just kind of thinking about how they are as a person. So what they've done today, what behavior can we observe? So what habits do they have? And what can we imagine them doing in the future? Step 6 is another sense. What do they hear? And it's trying to create the world around them. So what do they hear others saying? Again, it could be friends and colleagues or family. What are they hearing secondhand? That could be from news, music publications. In this step, we don't need to base so much on the person as a music listener. It could just be the person as a whole. Then in the middle, step 7, we look at what they think and feel. And here we think about their pains. And these are fears, frustrations, anxieties, and then gains. What are their wants, needs, hopes, and dreams? And here you can see a completed empathy map. Please feel free to pause this video at any time so you can study the completed tools a little bit better. Step 3 is called value proposition. This is a value proposition canvas. And here on the right hand side, we again label the customer jobs as what they need to do. And we look at their pains and gains again. This step is a great chance to refine step 2. So you might have had 10 pains, 10 gains, and they might not be as important as each other. So here it's a good chance to pick 3 or 4 of each to really refine your ideas, because then you can start to focus your music on one or a few specific elements of your listener. On the left, products and services, is the song, the music we're creating. The gain creators are how do we help our listeners' dreams and hopes become a reality with our music? And with the pain relievers, how can we help solve their fears, quell their nerves, help their frustrations not be so strong anymore? And here you can see a completed value proposition canvas. Step 4 is the listener persona. This is where we really bring all of our ideas together from the empathy map and the value proposition canvas. And we start to visualize and put down who the person that we are looking to create music for is. The persona includes a short biography, again honing in on their needs and fears, their motivation and habits, what their favorite bands and songs are. We have psychographics, so an example of that would be introverted or extroverted. And we have behavioristics, which is more to do with outward behaviors. And of course, you can visualize how they would look. And we have going out and staying in. Step 4b is the listener point of view, or POV. This creates a short ad-lib or mad-lib type statement of who the user is, what their need is, and why they have that need. In the music design thinking, we split the user up into elements of their personality or their being. So the persona from the last step is a 90-year-old student, first year, but she is also a part-time bar worker. She's also a teenager and a body-conscious female in this case. So she has different needs and reasons for those needs based on the different type of user that she is. Even though it's a little bit convoluted, we then try and form one sentence out of these needs, and then we ask, how might we questions. So how might we make someone feel good about themselves with our music, for instance? Step 5 is the new tool which has been designed for this framework. It's called the Song Map, and it's intended as a bridging tool between the user-centric work that we've just completed and the song or the music that we will create. How it works is that the mind map from the first step is placed in the middle of the song map. The POV that we have just created, that is based on our user, is written in the middle of the mind map. And then we link our first ideas, these emotions, feelings, trends, and so on, to these musical elements that you can see around the song map. Melody and harmony, instrumentation, rhythm, lyrics, genre dynamics, timbre, texture, tempo, and form. One other step that we do before completing the song map is, just like we highlighted our own personal top 10 elements, we do the same for our listener. And here you can see the connection between your ideas as the creator and the elements which are most important to your listener. In the sessions that we've done so far, we found that the simplest way is to pick an element. So in this case, we picked nostalgia first, label it as number 1, and then go around the song map and try as best as you can to fill in the spaces. And with nostalgia, we thought that a 90s hip-hop beat would help give that feeling of nostalgia. Around the outside of the song map are words which link to these musical elements, and they're just there as a reminder to jog our memory. Not everyone, including myself, keeps up to date with their musical theory, and sometimes you just need a little helping hand. You can also go back and look at the work that you've done, but the idea is that having the POV, the point of view, in the middle of that mind map, and having your own ideas in the mind map itself should not hinder the creative process. And you can take a moment here to just look at how the themes, emotions, and all the elements in the mind map link into the song map. For instance, one of the themes we had was mental health. And then in the lyrics, we had mental health linking to lyrics that talk about the fact that it's okay to not feel okay. I won't go too much further into this because, again, it's supposed to be your ideas, your listener, your music. And this song map is meant to assist you in that creation, and it can be utilized in any way which you find useful. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed learning a bit more about music design thinking and the framework and the song map itself. Again, if you have any questions, my email and phone number are on the screen, and I look forward to talking more to you about music design thinking. Thank you.